So anatomy, huh? A single word that puts utter dread into even the greatest of artists. Can I, a beginner artist, actually make good anatomy? Well, Paston seems to think so. Well, I decided to split the human body into 6 different pieces and make a series tackling each one. And hopefully, improve my anatomy. Of course, I decided at what I felt was the easiest one, the arm. So usually how I draw arms is like, here's the shoulder, right? So here's like the shoulder. I usually do a circle here, and then I do a circle here, and then I do a circle here. And that represents the shoulder, the elbow, and the wrist. And how I usually do arms is kind of like a curve here. So it's like that, and then a bigger curve. That, right? But that it's not really accurate, actually, now that I realize. But yeah, and then I usually do that, right? Doesn't make sense anatomically. Yep, as you can see, I didn't immediately go into a tutorial. I actually tried analyzing the human part first. Of course, you might guess how it went. I don't need to know the names of everything, but like, I at least need to know in general how it looks, because as long as I have like a basic understanding, it'll be a lot better. So I'm trying to make like a simple way, like to keep in mind everything, to make sure I have everything in mind when I do the anatomy, but it's still easy to do a quick little sketch of. So it's like, obviously it's not straight. When you're muscly and you're a big boy, you're muscly boy, you have a lot of curves, but I don't want to make it too much, you know what I mean? So maybe separate these into 2 cylinders so that it's more accurate. Would that help? If I separate the middle parts into 2 kind of cylinders so that it's a little bit more like I can, play with it a bit. Let me see. So the arm has kind of a thing. So the arm has kind of this part. Let's do a side view. This is right there. This would make the most sense for this arm. So right here, this is the arm that he has. So he has the shoulder right here. That's the shoulder. And then we have the back that I drew. And then we have the cylinder. This is the elbow right here. And this is the wrist. And it kind of curves in because it's like smaller wrist, right? You wouldn't account for those though. There's so many names. This is confusing. I'm already confused. It's fine. All right. I don't need to know how everything is. I don't need it, Obviously I can make that bigger. So if I made this bigger, there'd be kind of like a bigger thing here, right? And this would lead into it, right? The muscle right here would get bigger, but that would only be for side view. It would be more relaxed in the side view. Shadow right there, and then there's the wrist, or the elbow. So the elbow, how would I draw the elbow? So my first try ended in confusion. I mean, what did you expect past sim? Seriously. So I tried again on another reference. So the elbow would probably be, okay. And then it would kind of go straight here, and then it would go in, and then this would go in too. Right? And this would be the armpit and such. And then that would go in. So when it's sideways like this and actually being flexed. So in relaxed position, this makes a lot of sense because a lot of the muscle is hidden, right? Because it's like all the muscles in here, it's not being flexed, cool. So the 4 sections it seems like I need to pay attention to is the green section, I believe, is probably the part that actually shows. No, that's the behind. Sorry, that's the behind. What part is this orange part is the part that expands or is flat depending on how strong the person is, right? This orange part is the one that increases in curve. So the green part only shows if the arm is completely relaxed. That part goes away. Okay, here we go. Here's some flexing. Yep, I was right. So the orange is flexing. Green is slightly flexing. Not too much though. It's not as tone. It's not as much definition as you'd think. And then again, this one, these 2 parts connect, so these are going to be more flexy. So it's going to be like curved and then forearm, and then going into the hand, right? And then this one again, forearm going into the hand, elbow, right, elbow, and then triceps. I only remember that because of the word right there. And then shoulder, which is going to be connected a bit to the back end. That's going to be connected to the neck. So imagine the neck being like right here, right? This is going to be the back, but this will probably be connected. So it'd probably be better to do that. Something like that. That's how it would kind of look. So with my analysis finished and my knowledge increased from Chibi with a cat on his head, because of course you can trust his wise words and information, I proceeded to look online for tutorials. It actually didn't go as bad as you would expect. We're gonna look at some YouTube and we're gonna see how other people would do it, because I need to have a starter place and just keep in mind that the arms are there. So again, as I said, it's gonna be 4-ish kind of muscles that you want to pay attention to. It's going to be the forearm. This one would be curved. The tricep. So I think this is the bicep. That's the tricep. So you'd be the bicep, the tricep, the elbow, the forearm, and then connecting to the wrist a bit. There's a bone here, but I don't think it's as important. There's just like a slight bone there, depending on which angle you're looking at. And then connecting to the shoulder. Okay, so the only thing is that what I keep getting wrong about the arm is that not all the time are you curving at the wrist. You only curve at the wrist. So it would be like a curve here, and then it would curve back at, right? That only happens when it's a side view. When it's a front view or a back view, you don't curve it. Got it. Okay.
That's it.
So yeah, so basically these two muscles work in conjunction to each other. If one is flexing, the other one's not flexing. If, some definition is there, but otherwise, yeah, one muscle is like super flexing, the other one's resting, depending on what you're doing. And then the forearm is kind of similar. If you're flexing it, there's some tonality there, but other than that, it's just like two bigger curves
Side.
there.
Just kind of indicate where those muscles kind of are divided, but we don't need to show every single area of muscles. We don't need to show the full division of the shoulder muscle. We can kind of indicate where they
Yeah, you just want to indicate. You don't want to. Yeah. You just want to
That, ladies
indicate
and
it.
gentlemen, is
So let me follow the tutorial. Let's get the two screens going. We're gonna do pretty big. Okay, so we've got the hand and the shoulder. Okay.
Now, starting from these two lines, you can make a little triangle, and then a little rectangle-y thing here, and another little triangle type thing.
So rectangle.
And I want to make sure that this line pretty much
And
goes
then
straight up
another,
here,
like a diamond.
comes in to this, and then out to that. Okay, now this next step is we're going to connect some of these lines. So we have this harsh corner right here. We're just going to bring it up so that it's kind of smoothie, and we're going to make this part down here a little bit thinner toward the inside of the hand, and then come out like that. Then the next thing we can do is make little lines right here for the muscly thing. I don't know what they're called. Give a little indication to the deltoid muscle right there. Bam. Little line up here that gets a little bit thicker at the top for the tricep muscle. Wait, let's add the fingers.
I'm not gonna do the hands.
We're gonna do that
I'm not doing hands.
all over again.
Hmm.
Guys, I'm only gonna say this one more.
Okay. That's gonna be a side view arm. So this is side view. Got a big old dumpy. Wait a minute, hold up. Hold up. Can you guess what's wrong with this? Perhaps I was too enticed by that booty. Let's rewind a bit. Here's the supposed knowledge I gained while analyzing. You realize I'd screwed up the stinking body angle. I'm trying to do side view. I just realized. So right here it would actually be... So the chest would be different actually. That's why it looked weird. Yeah, let's fix that. So this is the arm. I think that's a pretty good arm. The arm's a little bit too far away from the neck. But that's okay. For now, we're just gonna go with it. I was doing it the wrong angle. That's why it looked weird at the beginning. But that's okay. Okay, we're gonna fill this in. So after I realized why the arm didn't look right, I fixed some mistakes with the arm and tried shading it. So for tonality, this is gonna be back end. So there's gonna be some shadows here. There's gonna be shadows here, right? There's gonna be a lot of shadows here. Honestly, let's just do some like shadows in a few places. And we'll do some lighter shadows for those parts. These are kind of like the biggest shadows, you know what I mean? And this would have, there would be a shadow here as well, because obviously the arm is doing that. So that would be the quick shadows there. And then we're gonna do multiply again, but we're gonna do a little bit lighter. Like complexion here, and then obviously some complexion here. And let's airbrush it a little bit. Get some complexion there, and then we're gonna do another layer where it's gonna give some redness to the thing. Make it more skin-like. No, not overlay. We just need to do lighter. I did a little bit too much. Just making kind of the skin look a little bit more like naturally flex. And then we'll add some highlights. I'm gonna blend a little bit of the shadows. Okay, and then we're gonna do these shadows, which will be a little bit blurred, not too much. There's gonna be some hard shadows still. I think that's good, at least for a basic like idea. So by the end, I finally completed the arm, and I was finally happy. Until I realized I have 6 more body parts to go, and, you know, I have to shade them all, and I have to do all of that, yay. But that's for another time. If you think that the arm I made is good enough, let me know in the comments below, and might as well leave a like while you're there. And you can watch this video here to see me draw a meme in 15 minutes. Thanks for watching.